Hi there, welcome to the Diamond Report for Friday, March 31st, 2017. This is your host, Doug Diamond. Let's jump right into the headlines here. How to protect your online privacy now that Congress sold you out. That's from Zero Hedge. And more from Zero Hedge. The last 2 times after the government reported data like this, stocks crashed. Trump defends Flynn. He should have asked for immunity in this media witch hunt. McCain furious at Rex Tillerson for saying Assad can stay. Wikileaks reveals Marble. Proof CIA disguises their hacks as Russian, Chinese, Arabic. Multiple bubbles are going to bring America to its knees. The warning signs are there. That's from shtfplan.com. Russia turns on Trump. Blames him for relations that are worse than the Cold War. Russia preps for epic split with global banking cartel by dumping US dollar for gold. That's from the Free Thought Project. Muslim claiming to be Prophet Muhammad chokes out Goodwill worker, breaks officer's hand. Muncie police arrested a man who they say choked a Goodwill employee, threatened to kill everyone in the store, and broke an officer's hand, all while claiming to be God. From the Gateway Pundit, Kremlin connection confirmed. Podesta company paid 1 billion rubles from the Russian government. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson demands NATO allies pay up as he says it's no longer sustainable for U.S. to fund everyone's defense. A bill could see Connecticut police use drones armed with lethal weapons in a first for the U.S. North Korea could wipe out 200,000 lives by hiding an atomic bomb on board a false flag ship docking at any U.S. city, former CIA officials warn. Pension crisis ahead, why public employees should think about a golden nest egg now. Defiant EU stands by under fire boss Juncker and says his U.S. breakup remarks are valid. Swedish feminists flee the suburbs due to Islamic fundamentalists. That's from Breitbart.com. Twitter silences another prominent Trump supporter as censorship escalates. And shocking letter from dead EPA scientist reveals 14 biochemical mechanisms by which glyphosate, which is Roundup, causes cancer. All were suppressed by the EPA. That's from Natural News. Senator Grassley asks why extremely careless Hillary still has access to classified State Department info. That's from Zero Hedge. MIT says half of American children will have autism by 2025. Just to put that figure in perspective a little bit, here's a chart about autism prevalence on the rise. As you can see, in 1975, it was only 1 in 5,000. And now they're talking about the year 2025, which is just 50 years. It's going to be 1 in 2. Now, why is that? Well, vaccines are the single greatest cause, in my opinion. And also you've got things like GMOs, you've got geoengineering. There are many contributing factors. But as a society, to sit back and say 1 in 2 kids having autism is okay, puts us in quite a precarious situation, because that does not mean that the other kid in 1 in 2 is 100% healthy either. They're also going to have autistic-like tendencies. And pretty soon, we're going to have, with the adult vaccination schedule they'd like to force on everybody, we're going to start seeing autism in adults too, where they've never had it before leading up to vaccines. An X22 report, banks are secretly reporting cash transactions to the police. State of emergency, the entire bridge is compromised the moment a burning section of I-85 in Atlanta collapsed. That's from shtfplan.com. From Information Liberation, you're not capable of writing a clear sentence. Tucker Carlson takes on white genocide professor. Russian submarines have increased patrols to the level last seen during the Cold War, a Navy chief says, as Putin's spokesman says relations with the U.S. are maybe worse than they were then. Government's going insane with new ways to tax people. That's from ArmstrongEconomics.com. Is leftist shill Noam Chomsky preparing us for a false flag terrorist attack? That's from DollarVigilante.com. And from Zero Hedge, Morgan Stanley says used car prices may crash 50%. Japan kills 333 whales during government-backed expedition. That's from Sputnik News. Boy, they like those Illuminati-type numbers. 333, 666, 11s. From dailycaller.com, conservatives demand IRS commissioner's head in White House meeting. And from shtfplan.com, experts, a single nuclear warhead delivered by North Korea's satellite could black out national electric grid and kill 90% of Americans. Sounds like it's right out of a movie. Oh wait, it is. Top Insider says Dems are targeting Flynn because he blocked Obama's backing of Al-Qaeda and ISIS invasion. The Fed is almost insolvent. This is where things quickly get out of control. 2 words, own gold. That's from silverdoctors.com. 7 are killed, including 1 pregnant woman, in separate shootings in Chicago neighborhood over a span of just 24 hours. New app alerts illegal immigrants to ICE raids. That's from Breitbart. And from Sputnik News, what if Iran conducts military drills in the Gulf of Mexico? Manias, panics, and crashes. A stunning warning from Bank of America. That's from Zero Hedge. Game over for Assange. Wikileaks founder could be ousted from Ecuador embassy on Monday. Moms declare holy war after school teaches Islam is true faith. U.S. Education Department asked to eliminate lesson plans on Islam. That's from Breitbart. Veterans for Child Rescue. Ex-Navy SEAL launches operation to expose pedophiles. It's from InfoWars and Adon Salazar. And from Liberty Blitzkrieg, Ivy League Inc., how America's most prestigious universities bilk the U.S. taxpayer. Report, Hillary and 6 aides had access to classified State Department info after leaving office. It's from Breitbart. Senate looking in the wrong place as the FBI influenced U.S. election. Dennis Kucinich. That's from Sputnik News. Free speech versus hysteria. California lawmakers pull attempt to ban fake news. France fearing suicidal chemical attackers who infect themselves with deadly diseases. That's from the Express. Intel official behind unmasking of Trump associates is very senior, very well known. It's from Zero Hedge. And North Korea must be stopped from its plan to threaten nuclear attack on America, warns Mad Dog Mattis. And from Dave Hodges of the Common Sense Show, Damascus destroyed. Mark of the Beast, World War III is knocking on the door. Report, supposedly impartial fact-checkers driven by political prejudices. You don't say. That's from Breitbart. And from the Daily Caller, Rex Tillerson has a surprise meeting with the wife of an American pastor who's jailed in Turkey. American missionary being held by Erdogan on bogus terrorism charges. Serial rapist adult migrant to be tried as juvenile in the murder of EU official's daughter. Afghan man raped and murdered women in Germany and Greece. That's from RT. Tillerson moves away from U.S. demand that Assad must be ousted from Syria. That's from Western Journalism. And from the Daily Express, Prince Charles pays homage to his ancestor Vlad the Impaler. Google wants its own puppet as FTC chair to block antitrust action. Tech giant fears Trump might open an antitrust investigation. That's by Jerome Corsi. Shock video shows maid falling from a window in Kuwait. Incident highlights mistreatment of immigration workers in Islamic countries. That's from Paul Joseph Watson. The MSM airs live racist hissy fit on TV. An MSNBC panelist went on an SJW tirade on live television. How to defeat the Telecom spy bill. Bill titled SJR 34 will allow telecom giants to sell user data. Illegal immigrants are criminals. National debate over illegal immigration could be solved by following the law. That's from Joe Biggs. And a John Bound report. EU president calls for Austin, Texas to secede. Globalist with strong Nazi ties wants to break up the U.S. FBI releases never-before-seen photos of 9/11 Pentagon crash. Dr. Nick Begich, why Russia is a threat to globalists. Russia and Putin aren't perfect, but they are not under globalist control. And from Paul Joseph Watson, Twitter leftists triggered by racist white Skittles. Muslim rape culture demands England submit. European leaders in denial about Islamic takeover. And police defend mass rape of young children taken to mosques without parental consent. Police arrested fathers who tried to save their daughters from an Islamic sex ring. Obama's IRS chief who dodged impeachment continues under Trump. U.S. warns China its patience is running out as North Korean aggression continues. That's from the Daily Caller. And from the LibertyBeacon.com, chickenpox reduces brain cancer risk. We must stand against vaccines. Putin slams U.S. for geoengineering, hacking blame, and pedo-Satanism. From Technocracy.news, New World Disorder. Disintegration stage commences. Bloomberg enters a race to develop smart city standards. Bayer unleashes army of re-educated farmers from GMO training program. By re-educated, I think they mean brainwashed. Seattle will lead cities in national implementation of Array of Things. China's vice premier hails unstoppable momentum of globalization. China planning a New England-sized smart megalopolis to house 130 million. What do you do when your employer asks for your DNA? If you want to keep your job, you will submit. But if they don't like what your DNA reveals to them, you may well lose your job anyway. From SkywatchTV.com, will we see the fulfillment of prophetic third temple in our lifetime? Heaven's Gate, 20 years later, 10 things you didn't know. I remember how crazy that was. Christians urged to pull children from public schools. Indoctrination, public schools and the decline of Christianity in America. Now here's some of their videos. Tom Horn, Gary Stearman, and Josh Peck discuss technology of the beast. Sci Friday, body dysmorphia. Transspeciesism, and the return of the old gods. From InfoWars, Army officer warns of Democratic coup plans. That is James Wesley Rawls. Trump calls critics bluff. Will share intel on Obama spying. Spicer says the smart move was to make all the materials available. That's from WND.com. An interview with Steve Quayle. Fukushima radiation everywhere and dark forces undermining our institutions. That's on Spreaker.com. It's an interview that he did. Tapping President Trump's wires. Here's how it's done. From CryptoMe.org. From the Daily Mail, amazing aerial footage shows firefighters battle raging inferno, which collapsed part of Interstate 85 in Atlanta. Peruvian scientists grow potato in Mars-like conditions in quest for extraterrestrial agriculture. That's from abc.net.au. 6 giant towers discovered on the moon. That's a YouTube video. We have Greg Hunter's weekly wrap-up. Mysterious Sumerian statues with big blue eyes, a sign from the gods. Steve says, relevant because the Aztec, Inca, and Mayas all believe their civilizations were built by the blonde-haired, blue-eyed giants from the East. That's from AncientPages.com. Science offers 3 evidences on how a zombie pandemic can be possible. Steve says, here comes the Zombiewood cannibal theme in full court press. That's from DailyDisruption.com. We have yesterday's Diamond Report. Thank you, Steve. Another Mayan statue depicting an alien humanoid discovered. It's from MysteriousUniverse.org. The war against Christians is accelerating on all fronts. Steve Quayle and Pastor David Lankford provide critical status report and guidance tonight on the Hagman Report. Scientists mock miracles of Jesus Christ. Large corporations create lifelong customers by altering DNA expression. Time to bring the battle to them. From censorship to fake news labels, war has been declared. That's an allnewspipeline.com article. Imminent eruption in Iceland and Fuego volcano explodes 13 times an hour in the last days in Guatemala. CARE orders U.S. Air Force to ditch anti-Muslim counterterrorism instructor. That's from judicialwatch.org. Okay, that's all for today's Diamond Report. Thanks so much for listening and watching. And if you will, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you tomorrow.